Night Court ASMR. Hello, darling, and welcome to the Night Court. As always, it's your choice, and you have chosen a bedtime story. A relaxing tale to invite sleep and pleasant dreams for all listeners. So, today we're going to a fantasy place, a medieval place. And I want you to get ready to come there with me. We're going to have some triggers. From the thumbnail, you may not have been able to tell. I love the sound of leather, like real scraps of old leather. I have a little pile of them here. And so today I'm going to tell you the story of the King's Falconer. I don't have leather gloves like a falconer would, but I think we'll be able to make some nice sounds that make sense in our environment. So, this bedtime story might be content that's a little bit different for you, but I hope it's relaxing and you can engage with me in the fantasy. So before we begin, as always, take a moment to prepare your space and yourself to attend the night court. Ensure you will be undisturbed and unrequired to do anything but listen and enjoy for the duration. Now, if you haven't already, darling, turn down the lights, sit or lie back in a comfortable position. Ensure that your neck, back, and legs are well supported. And notice how your attention to these details is already, hopefully, creating a sense of ease. As your shoulders relax, your jaw unclenches, and perhaps your eyes close, your ears open, attuned to each small sound. Notice how your attention to these details is already creating a sense of ease. And now you can imagine the glow of a city on the horizon, the cool mountain wind whispering, and the dark embrace of the night. Now imagine with me a morning, an early morning, where the mist rises from the green-gray valleys like dreaming dragons, curling around the ancient stones of the castle walls as dawn slowly illuminates the world. Take a deep breath in and out. Letting the cool, damp air fill your lungs with the scent of heather and moss. As the King's Falconer, you know these precious morning hours are perfect for training, when the air hangs still and heavy with possibility. Your soft leather boots make No sound on the dewy grass. Hardly any sound. You approach the mews, that sacred space where the royal hawks dream their wild dreams. The heavy wooden door opens. I love the sound of wood too. Slightly, the door brushes against the ground. Gently you push it open. A subtle perfume of fresh straw and leather is released into the morning air. Inside, the chamber is cool and dim, illuminated only by thin streams of misty light filtering through narrow windows. Listen to the soft rustle of feathers as your charges acknowledge your presence. Each bird is a masterpiece of nature's art, but your falcon is white as the winter snow. Peregrine sleek as polished steel in your special charge. A young northern goshawk, the color of storm clouds, destined to hunt for the king himself. The leather of your hawking glove feels supple and familiar. You slip the glove on to your left hand. Years of use have molded it perfectly to your form. Each metal rivet catches the dim light like tiny stars as you move. The soft clink of leather jesses and silver bells creates a gentle melody in the air as you gather your equipment. Approach the goshawk's perch with measured steps, speaking in low, soothing tones that seem to hang in the misty air. The hawk's eyes are the color of liquid amber, and they meet yours with ancient wisdom. Watch how she fluffs her feathers, creating a soft whisper. Rustling sound that echoes in the quiet chamber. With practiced grace, you offer your gloved arm. Feel the precise pressure as she steps onto her perch, her talons gripping with perfectly controlled strength. Her weight settles like a familiar blessing. The leather jesses make a gentle slip, slide sound as you secure them. Each movement slow and deliberate. Carrying your charge into the pearl gray morning feels like stepping into another world entirely. The mist creates haunting shapes across the training grounds. Familiar posts and perches look like mysterious silhouettes. Your boots leave temporary records in the soft earth as you walk. The weight of the hawk on your arm shifts slightly as she takes in the morning air, her head moving in precise, elegant motions. Her feathers catch what little morning light there is, creating subtle patterns of shadow and shine that seem to shift with every breath. You begin the morning's training with simple exercises, letting her hop from perch to fist. Each time she moves, her wings create soft currents of air that you can feel against your face. The leather of the lure makes a gentle swish, swing as you move it in practiced patterns, building her confidence and reinforcing her training. Watch how she follows the lure with those intense amber eyes, her head making minute adjustments that speak of perfect focus. The mist seems to part around her, her wings barely disturbing the air. Each successful return is rewarded with a treat from you, which she accepts with elegant precision. The sun gradually shines brighter, revealing glimpses of the valley below. Drops of dew caught in spider webs create countless tiny prisms of light and color. Transformed into a treasury of liquid diamonds. The calls of birds create a gentle chorus that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Now it's time for longer flights. Feel the subtle tension in her body as you prepare to release her. The leather straps make a satisfying release as you free her into the morning air. Watch as she takes wing, her form perfect as she rises through the mist, like a dream taking flight. The bell at her ankle creates a distant musical tick as she circles overhead. Each movement is precisely controlled. She flies through the morning air, the mists parting and swirling in her wake, creating ephemeral patterns that dissolve as quickly as they form. You call her back, with a gentle whistle that seems to hang in the heavy air. Feel the soft impact as she returns to your fist, softly as a whispered secret. You have a trust built on countless such moments, as ancient as the art of falconry itself. The training continues as the morning deepens, each exercise building upon the last. The swish of the lure, the tinkle of bells, and the whisper of wings create a peaceful rhythm that seems to exist outside of ordinary time. This is a dance that has remained unchanged for centuries, passed down to generations of falconers who have stood on similar misty mornings. Watch how she responds to the slightest movement of your hand, reading your intentions with subtle shifts that would be invisible to the untrained eye. The jesses make soft leather sounds while she adjusts her position. Each movement is precisely controlled, her feathers occasionally brushing against you, creating a sound so soft it's barely more than a suggestion. You move to more complex training patterns as the morning progresses. The lure creates gentle, swooshing motions through the air as it moves. Each time your bird follows the path, her wings parting the mist like a ship's prow, cutting through water. The sun has risen higher now, its light diffused through the lingering mist. You see a pearl-colored glow that seems to come from everywhere at once. Drops of moisture cling to her feathers like tiny gems that capture the light as she moves. Water falls gently from leaves. Feel the perfect balance as your bird repositions herself on your fist, her weight shifting with liquid grace. The leather of your glove creaks softly with each minute adjustment. Every moment, every movement between you is a conversation carried out in silence in the language of subtle pressures and tiny shifts of weight. Now it's time for the final exercises of the morning, a series of long flights that will test her call and reinforce her training. As you prepare to release her, feel the energy building in her body like a contained storm. The mist is now thin enough to reveal patches of blue sky overhead, promising perfect hunting weather for the king's upcoming chase. Watch as she takes to the air one last time, her form dissolving into the air like the morning mist. You call her back with the whistle she knows. Her return is perfect, 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 perfect. A dark shape materializing from the mist to land on your awaiting fist. The morning training session ends as it began, in peaceful communion between a falconer and a hawk. feel the gentle weight of her on your arm, the subtle shift of her feathers. The morning mist is beginning to burn away, revealing the ancient Welsh landscape in all its verdant glory. And as you walk back, let yourself sink into the perfect peace of this moment. The soft movement of your boots in the grass, the distant song of morning birds, all combine to create a gentle lullaby. Lullaby, lullaby. The mist creates patterns by your feet that seem full of half-remembered dreams. The door opens with the same wooden sounds that began your morning. The dimness wraps you in familiar shadows. Watch as you return your charge to her perch, her movements as precise and elegant as ever. The sound of her feathers echoes in the quiet space. You love the clear-eyed nature of raptors. And you're taking a moment to feel and honor what it takes to hone each bird's skills. And you know that in turn, they hone you into a rhythm of purpose and the pleasure that comes from having a clear directive and a flock for which to care. I hope you're transported into this very specific story. And if you aren't asleep by now, I'm going to do some more wooden sounds. These sort of natural textures seem somewhat apropos for the story. Oh, I love leather crinkling. I love when people wear leather jackets in videos. But I wanted to use my leather scraps today. I have this beautiful old mortar and pestle. And in it I have a bag with some herbs. So that's what you're hearing now. So we can tingle together. It's a beautiful old wooden bowl from Puerto Rico, actually. Puerto Rico. Isn't it beautiful? The dried herbs in the bag. The sounds of the wood. Mostly earthy natural textures. Mostly. I hope you enjoyed imagining yourself as the king's falconer. I'm such a nerd for the shows at medieval times. I mean, I hope the animals are happy, I really do. They sometimes have a falconer come out at those. And I always love to see those people who have owls trained. I've seen in Edinburgh the last time I was in Scotland. There was a woman who had exactly the leather, sort of almost gauntlet described in the story, and she had an owl it's not a hawk, but birds of prey. And I was also thinking about that today, telling you the story. They're so beautiful. I love that hollow wood sound. Distant hollow wooden clinking sound. I also have this beautiful handcrafted wand that I got at an arts market years ago. It's my wand. It chose me. Wooden things, leather things. I love the look. I love the look and feel of such things. Isn't it so pretty? It has these little green details. I shall be casting no spells today, don't fear. Just on myself